Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dish Nation. It's like probably one of like the most excited I've ever been. Like I have a guest on the show, man. It's like they're coming out of my favorite magazine, right onto your TV screen. Ladies and gentlemen, De La Soul is in the house. Dave Pastanusa and DJ Maceo.
All right,
brothers, how y'all been?
we good.
Living life
We good.
as best as we can.
Now, the crazy thing is, like, people, when you do what you love, it keeps you young. Like, you guys look almost the same way you guys did when you guys came out.
Yeah, we got a couple of grays up. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about past, but we doing little grays up top, some every now and then.
Now, the biggest thing that that made me super happy was to see that you guys were like in the studio working on a new album, and the way you guys approached it was different than most people do it. You guys did a Kickstarter, and you only wanted $100,000, which to some people is like, whoa, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But you guys achieved your goal, and it wasn't even 24 hours.
Yeah, we hit 110 in about 9 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then in 24 hours, we probably was just at the door of 200,000. Yeah, it actually doubled. It actually doubled the second day. And I mean, it's been amazing. Like just to see the fans come out, and it's only been like, I think at that time it was only maybe I want to say 2,500 people. Yeah. So people were actually really supporting on the idea that there's a new album coming and wanting to see it happen. So it's a good feeling to see that support came through.
Now, going all the way back to the genesis when you guys like dropped your first album, 3 Feet High and Rising, like it was at a different time. Like you guys had, I think, the most samples ever used on an LP,
True.
which hip hop had such a freedom back then because everybody wasn't ending up in court and getting sued for this, that, and the other. Do you feel like because the laws had changed, it really stifled future creativity on the production of the albums?
From a business standpoint, yeah, it would be difficult to put out certain records because we couldn't clear it, but creatively, nah. We still stuck to our guns and create music the way we create it. We would just wait until it's time to do the business to decide whether the song is worth clearing or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you run into this issue where, like I say with De La's Dead, we sampled Slick Rick's voice from Lottie Dottie, and certain things wasn't worth it. Certain things were based on the nature of the song. Yeah. The Witcher can't be the lover. That was kind of a theme through the record, but it costs so much.
Just for that one small part.
Small part.
Wow. Now, which brings us to the thing that's going on with what just happened with Robin Thicke, Pharrell, and Marvin Gaye's estate. Yeah. Do you guys feel like that was fair? Because it's not like they sampled the record. They went in there and played something that had a similar vibe.
Yeah, interpolation is a
part of the
it's a part of the language and the law. And of course you want to be creative. They was in the studio just being creative, and not only that, inspired. It's kind of messed up when you're inspired by something and you kind of get the same vibe and the feeling and you interpolate it some way, but then you get your hand smacked for doing that. I would imagine they wasn't trying to rob Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? They were just inspired by the song. And that's where it's kind of like the law is kind of messed up because these people are trying to show love. But of course there's a way to deal with business. But it's kind of hard when you're dealing with business and creativity. They bump heads sometimes.
Word.
Yeah. Now, 3 Feet High and Rising, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that believed that.
Peace.
If y'all was to rank that project, is it top 10 of all time hip-hop albums? It's in my top 10 personally, but, if y'all just stepped outside yourself as a fan, what do you think?
If I stepped outside myself, I think Balloon Mind State would be in my top 10.
Okay.
Not 3 Feet High and Rising. Yeah. Although 3 Feet High and Rising was some really good work. I mean, here it is. That's music we were creating more so when we was like 14, 15, 16. That didn't come out until 89.
I mean, you was 30, man.
But also in saying that, 3 Feet High and Rising, if you look at what kind of top 10 lists you're putting together, 3 Feet High and Rising changed hip-hop. Just like if you had Run DMC, changed hip-hop. Wu-Tang Clan changed hip-hop, So if you're talking about that, what kind of actually, where the different, in a timeline, what happened in the change of hip-hop, I think 3 Feet High and Rising would be in that top 10. It's an album that kind of like changed the course of where we was going with this genre.
Word. And the dope thing is, when you look at you guys' body of work, like, you guys were never afraid to grow up. I mean, I think one of the most honest records on Balloon Mind State was IMIB. Like, as mellow as it is, I still have it on my workout playlist because, like, you guys are saying some of the realest, shit on that song, and it's just like, yo, like at that point, he's like, yo, these guys grew up.
Right.
It's not the same guys from Afro Connections at the High Five.
Right.
Like, these guys grown up. Like, did you have a hard time like adjusting to the times and adjusting, or just like, or peeling back those layers of vulnerability because they weren't really there in hip hop around that time?
Never had a problem with expressing ourselves lyrically and themes and coming up with where we would want to take a song, and being in a group together, we encouraged each other to do that. And it was also great where, we could see our peers, whether it was Q-Tip or if it was running into, Premier and Guru or whoever, even to Wu-Tang or Biggie, like they would show us love and be like, yo, that song, like I know your music. Or Pharrell would be like, yo, I know that song and what it means to me. So we were encouraged. We never felt like in doing this, we don't know how it would be perceived or received, So I think we always approached it that we're going to do what we want to do, feel comfortable about it, because at the end of the day, that's what you have.
Right. And in doing what you want to do in music at that time, you all were pioneers. And you came in at the same time as NWA. And I know you all know they have a movie coming out called Straight Outta Compton. What are y'all thinking about that? I'm excited about it. I saw the premiere, the preview yesterday, and Ice Cube's son is gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it hands down.
Nice,
so what do you guys think about it?
I mean, I think that's dope. I mean, funny enough, our first tour we ever did was the Nitro Tour. LL Cool J, NWA, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane. And one of the groups that De La Soul being on this side of the spectrum and NWA being over here, we clicked the most. Like, we hung out a lot and bugged out, and Easy and, Q, we would go to mall together, Ren. So it's really dope to see that. I would love to see that story. It's fun for me to be like, yeah, I remember that. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, something could happen. You can remember where you were. I mean, they're just such a pivotal.
And another iconic group that, changed the course of hip hop.
Yeah.
So to see that story and what was really going on sometimes when you didn't know what was going on, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, let's just say if, like, 5-10 years from now, somebody did a De La Soul movie.
Yeah.
Who in Hollywood do you guys see playing each one of y'all?
It's hard. I mean, it's funny.
I see Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, but
I couldn't guess it better. You couldn't have guessed it
Ron
better.
Jeremy.
he said, "Who?"
All right.
He said Ron Jeremy.
I mean, it's hard to say now. Funny enough, years ago, I remember running into Don Cheadle. He's like, "Yo, I could play you in that movie." I don't know.
You guys are good at your look-alike.
What about you, Dave?
I don't know. I ain't gonna think about it. I don't know.
I mean, it's an amazing story, man, and a lot of people like was hitting us up on Twitter like when they found out you guys were coming in, and like, I mean, one thing you guys are definitely known for is your legendary stage show. I mean, not only does Mace DJ, I've been to joints where you actually had the MP on stage, like banging the beats out, man. Like, when can we see y'all live in action again?
I think we'll be on tour this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we tour 6 to 8 months a year for the last 26 years. That's been a big part of our livelihood. So that stage show has been like a mainstay for us since the second album. Because the first album, we sucked.
Word.
We sucked.
You said the stage show for the second album sucked?
The first album.
Our first year. Going out on a show, we were brand new to it, just learning. And again, just to bring back their names, NWA was like a big learning lesson to watch NWA up there and put shows together and, synchronize, acting parts and routines and stuff like that. We learned a lot from NWA.
Yeah.
Just to learn how to do a good stage show.
Definitely say NWA, Kane, and LL.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see this renaissance of like, all these people from the golden era, like going out together, rocking shows. I got a chance to catch you guys last year with Run DMC. No. LL Cool J, Public Enemy, Kings of the Mic tour. And like, it was just great from beginning to end. I just hated how punctual everything was.
Right.
So started at 7. Oh, De La Soul's going on first. Yeah, so doors open at 7. I'll be there at 7:30. I got there at 7:30. Y'all were doing Buddy.
Right.
Like, y'all was out. It wasn't a game.
That was a great tour. And it's nice to see folks come out. I think there is an audience that don't get the opportunity to see their greats, the people who they enjoyed and appreciate. And that tour pretty much was, a success throughout the whole state. So it's nice to see that we can service those people who, for a long time, ain't been out to see a hip-hop show.
Word. Now, you guys have inspired many artists. Now, and when it's time for you guys to go back in and create that new cornerstone of hip hop, who do you guys draw inspiration from?
Honestly, life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an
Everything
artist.
around us.
It's just everything around us. Like, even this experience might bring out lyrics. You know, it's of course we get musical inspiration. You know, and whether that be Chance the Rapper or J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or those kind of rappers that kind of like challenge us mentally. It's one of those things where life is the biggest inspiration. What happens every day. Absorbing those experiences, because we talk about life. It's not really it's not really the party rap group. It's not really the trap group. It's the group that's talking about life. So washing dishes can be in the record. Having babies could be in the record. Supporting your family. So much. A personal challenge that could be on a record.
Hip hop, period, just been a significant part of our lifestyle that we truly live it every day, like since we were kids. So here it is outside of normal responsibilities as parents. I think the music and the culture is just embedded in us. Don't stop thinking about it every day, honestly.
Now, for me, Potholes in My Lawn is my favorite De La Soul record.
All right.
What is De La Soul's favorite De La Soul record?
That's a hard one, man.
For me, my favorite record would be IMRB. For me personally, like just where I was, how I wrote it. Just had a daughter. A lot of that album I recorded with like Ayana in my hands, like while I was in the booth. Like, so that was like my favorite De La record.
For me, it was Trying People.
Yeah.
Trying People was one of my favorite. It was a tearjerker, for real, especially for what we were all dealing with in our lives at that time.
Yeah.
And, his key line was, Maceo, you need to hold on. Dave, you need to hold on. Posh, you need to hold on. So, we was definitely dealing with some things that those lyrics really spoke to us directly.
And that song kind of like came right at 9/11.
Yeah, right.
9/11 was around that, like days around that time we was recording that record. So.
Now, when you guys were working on the like that whole what was initially set out to be a trilogy, there was always teased that there was gonna be a third installment that was gonna be super DJ-centric.
It's still coming.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
it's
real.
Still coming, and we could truly say it's been the music business that held up that project. Like I say, anytime you touch a sample, it's going to cost.
Right.
But I don't want to compromise the project based on our culture being DJ culture, coming from sampling from records. So hopefully, with the spin of what we just did with this campaign, we may be able to succeed doing the same thing for AOI 3.
Word.
So it doesn't have no creative inhibition.
So, as we talk about this brand new project, you guys, pretty much are free to do whatever the hell you guys want. You wanted this amount of money, you got this amount of money. I'm reading you got, Little Dragon, David Byrne from the Talking Heads.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
2 Chainz? It's always a mixed bag with you guys, and it's always cool to see how, when you read the names, it's like, yo, what are they going to do with this? I can't wait.
True.
Is there anything, can you give us a sample of anything that we could wrap our hands around, even if it's just like an acapella? What can we expect?
Acapella, I don't know about that, but just to talk about the songs, like a lot of people per se, like even the 2 Chainz record, reading online 2 Chainz, Dayline 2 Chainz, ill. I don't like that, but honestly, that's one of the records that I'm like leaning on. That like, yo, 2 Chainz is nice.
People sleep on him because
man.
people forget that 2 Chainz is also Titty Boy.
Yeah,
Titty Boy can really write. He's an MC who just figured out, okay, I need to make some money. All right,
true indeed, true indeed. Nah, but he kills the record, and it's one of those records that you kind of feel De La leaning, like in the now and De La as well, but at the same time, inviting people. What I want to say is that inviting people you don't necessarily hear blending with De La has always been a thing that we love to do. Bringing them in our world and also absorbing their world and then meshing the two. Yeah. So 2 Chainz and De La record, totally unexpected, but it works. It works. Yeah.
It's a real collaboration.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have every now and again have these discussions about features and collaborations. We never had features. We've always did collaborations where the record always complimented us as well as the artists we worked with.
Yeah, true indeed.
To try to make it something bigger and better than what we were doing individually on our own.
do you ever see yourself doing a collaboration with Justin Bieber?
You know what? To be honest, it's always the music that dictates the collaboration.
Right.
You know, it could be possible. Here it is. I do like Justin Bieber's music.
And it's a conversation that we've been having since the very beginning of this Kickstarter campaign. Like, actually, we talked about this a lot of times. Is Justin Bieber a De La fan? Does he know about De La? And if so, would something amazing happen if those two people got in a room together? So it's crazy that you asked that question because his name has been, like, thrown around in the studio a lot.
He surprises.
Yeah.
Just when you expect him to, like, not pull it off. Like,
Right.
I heard him rap before, and it was actually not bad.
Right,
And it's like,
right.
you know, minus the hype that we are tuned into mostly these days because of technology and videographers and all of that, the brother is really talented.
Yeah.
He can sing. He come from good stock. You know, Usher discovered him. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's not lose sight of the fact of the talent that is existing around the hoopla. You know?
Right,
Absolutely.
sure did.
Now, like, you guys always seem like you everything seems to fall in your favor, like, you know, just from a distance looking in. I mean, I don't know about your personal lives, but has there ever been a situation where you wanted a collaboration and it was like, no?
Oh, yeah.
Tons.
Who would say no to De La Soul?
Lots of people.
Lots of people. I mean, like
Lots of people. But, you know, not. I don't think like a disrespectful no, like I'm not messing with them.
Yeah.
Or,
One disrespectful, no, but I don't
oh, what?
Say their
Hold
name
on
into
to
the
that
bottle.
And you know, again, like I say, De La, we go far out. Recently, we tried to reach out to Willie Nelson, get Willie Nelson on the track, and that couldn't happen. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like those things when you know you got something special. And although people might be like, Willie, no, well, what's that going to be like? We hear something. You know, we see not only collaborating with people, but people are also instruments as well. You want to add that instrument to a song.
yeah.
So when you hear, like, damn, I hear Willie Nelson, and it's such a far out, you know, thought. Reaching out to it, it might happen, it might not. And in this case, unfortunately, it didn't. But we understand, like, you know, sometimes people are busy. Sometimes people are not in that space right now, and you got to respect that, you know.
Now, like, far as hip-hop goes, it's still relatively a new art form. I mean, like, we're still in a space where, like, the fans can actually touch the people that help roll the ball. You can still reach out to a Cool Herc. You can run into Grandmaster Caz somewhere. And I think that's amazing. 20 years from now, can we still sit down and have a conversation with De La Soul? Are you guys planning on, like, you know, continuing to do this until your wheels actually fall off? Or is this just,
This is it's in our veins.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is something that we do. We haven't released a record in, what's that, 10 years now, 11 years.
Yeah.
But we make music every day, every other day. We're constantly recording. We've done tons of work outside of releases, you
always
know?
performing.
Yeah, so and I think that will continue. Like, you know, unless, you know, we're in wheelchairs and on, God forbid, oxygen masks, you know, but we'll continue to do this until our last days.
That's
I
great
can
to hear.
honestly say I'm inspired by Public Enemy. Those guys are 50 plus out there, still very resilient. I mean, Flavor's mid 50s.
Well, there's different things driving him, though.
Inspired by the Rolling Stones.
But, you know, but for hip hop, I could say
Yeah,
it's
true indeed.
Public Enemy. You know, to see how, you know, on the Kings of the Mic, how they have more energy than everybody out there. You know, Chuck is in the best shape in his life, you know, than he ever been. So to see that, that's really inspirational. You know, as a DJ, to every now and again run into Africa Bambaataa, who's still packing clubs and playing really great music and playing off his heart of what he think, you know, the audience should hear. You know, that's inspiring. You know, so as long as I keep seeing guys like that, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
Well, that's the best news we could get all day, man.
Absolutely.
So when can we expect a brand new album to drop?
We're looking September. We're chasing September, and you know, because the funding has been great and it's still going. We got another 15 days to go, and as it continues to rise, it might give way to bringing out the album even sooner. You're releasing it sooner, so as long as the people out there support, we'll have, you know, the funding and possibly put together the mechanics to get it out even sooner than September.
Now, y'all had some single releases that came out like over the last 12 to 13 months. It was one with the RZA talking at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, sure did.
Like, will stuff like that make the album as well?
No,
Nah, those are the special treats that's just out
special
there.
treats that, you know, samples you gotta stay away from clearing. So, you know, that's the whole thing. It's like,
just
you know,
out there.
Like the Impossible Mission.
Yeah, true indeed.
There's some joints on there, man. Yo, God bless you guys, man. I hope
Thank
y'all
you,
keep
bro.
beating that drum. And y'all, I mean, mean, y'all have inspired and touched so many people, and I don't know how many times people walk up to y'all and be like, hey, your music got me through this, got me through that. But, like, at different times, your music got me through some of the roughest patches in my life, man. So it's just dope to be able to see y'all still killing it and rocking it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
And then, ladies and gentlemen,
now, Macy, I want to ask you, man, you know, you got your son, Trey Mason, you know, running back for the St. Louis Rams, went to Auburn, you know, smashed Bo Jackson all-time rushing record.
Yeah.
That's a big, man, you got to, I mean, that proud daddy moment was like.
Definitely a proud dad moment. It's very surreal. Here it is, watching one of my offsprings live his dream. You know, can't ask for no more than that. That's God's gift.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I'm really thankful. And for all my other children, too, who are inspiring to do their thing. I got one that's getting ready to go to Arkansas State and play ball.
Beautiful.
So.
Now, did you play ball back in the day? Was you a beast?
Nah, not at all. New York didn't really present that for me.
Running the athlete.
Yeah. You know, I played a little sports, but music was my first love.
Yeah, Mace was in the band, actually.
Yeah, I was. I was in the band. I was.
Yeah.
I played the bass drum.
No, we've been asking everybody that came through this. Who do you guys got in the Mayweather fight?
Man.
On the second, between him and Pacquiao.
I got the popcorn.
Smart answer.
I don't know.
This is the fight that they claim he's been dodging.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I can't call it. Honestly, I can't call it. I want it for the champ, but here it is. If Pacquiao get it, it's well deserved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think he's the only one, in my opinion, watching the the training sessions that's been meeting the same standards as Mayweather as far as preparing for the fight. And here it is. The fight is won based on preparation. So it's going to be a good one. Is all I can truly say. Well, you know, here it is. If the champ get it, then he'll be the greatest of these times.
Indeed.
You know, if he win this one,
Indeed.
he'll be the greatest of these times.
Word up.
Because the greatest of all times is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, baby. Mike Tyson.
I'm a Tyson guy myself, man. You guys have been making music since you guys were kids, man. Like, but have you guys ever held down regular jobs? And if so, what was the first job you guys have ever got fired from?
Well, I didn't
King,
get fired.
baby.
I was a very well respected worker. I worked at Burger King. I was a production leader. I was at 16. I was 16, making like $800 a week. I was getting it in at Burger King.
I worked at Burger King and got arrested.
How'd you get arrested?
I couldn't have it my way.
What about you?
Burger King.
So the biddies in the BK Lounge is like
real.
from a true thing.
Real, yeah, that's real.
Like the girls that was on that song, are they on Instagram? Because I always wonder what they look like. Shoshana got a real job. Damn, don't you know? Like that was my joint.
Right,
So y'all all worked at Burger King at the same time together?
No.
They worked at the mall. I worked at the one on by the bowling alley.
On 110.
Y'all know what that is.
That's crazy, man. But yo, we can't wait for September or even sooner when the album come out. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave, DJ Maceo, Watch the News, De La Soul.
Yeah.
I still got it, baby boy. Then the sound on patrol. Check the file. While we running international like no other. With me in the pics, rocking them New York Knicks and them Elmer Glue colors. They got it for 2 for $5 on the dial. We got it for 3 for free, baby.